We'll begin today's program in just a minute, but first I want to tell you about a pretty serious situation that has been uncovered regarding all of these FINOW and number one round smartwatches, the X1, X1 Plus, X3, X3 Plus, Q3, and the number one D5 and D5 Plus, which I'm holding in my hand right here. Now this video is about installing watch faces, right? And it's the more sophisticated way where the designers have created watch faces and you have to connect your watch with a computer and drop all those into a special folder. It takes a little bit of skill. And that's why most of you have that background and are watching this, or else you just like to look at watch faces. There is a simpler way, however, and it's been designed into all of these faces, or into all of these watches. When you press and hold on the stock watch faces and you scroll all the way to the end, you get a little plus sign. If you press that plus sign, it connects to a server and it shows you a list of available watch faces that you could install as simple as touching it, where it says start download, and then hitting OK. That's where the problem is. You see, a glitch has been identified in this, where if you try and install these in this simple procedure, you may end up with a little black circle, or a little, the whole screen black, with a little round minus key up at the top, which is typical of what you get when you go into these watch faces after you've installed them. I've got at least one in here. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, there it is. See, this is one I installed from that process, and if I wanted to uninstall it, I just hit the minus. But what if right in here there was just a black screen with a little minus? Well, if you either touch the black screen or touch the minus, the whole screen goes black and there's no way out of it. We had several people report it. The XDA experts have been reviewing it. In fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to put kind of an insider video that I made for all of the team members to review what the situation is. And we all came to the same consensus that this is a problem. So the fix for this is a simple one: abstinence. Don't go there. Do not hit the plus key and install. You can look at them. You can look at them. You might be able to get by with installing one, but it's like Russian roulette. The second, the third, the fourth, eventually you're going to end up with a black space with a little minus sign. And if you accidentally touch that ever, you're stuck reflashing your watch. Now, until that is fixed, if the server is still up and you have access to these watch faces, do not install them, all right? It applies to the round Android watches from FINOW and number one. The square ones, like the D6 and S6 and the Q1, don't seem to be affected. They have the same process, but I've not been able to create that situation. So you're okay, I think, installing them from the square FINOW and number one watches, but not the round ones. There's a big warning in the notes below about this. Heed that warning, watch the video at the end, and now let's begin. Greetings and welcome to SmartWatch Tics. You are looking at the brand new FINOW Q3 Android standalone smartwatch phone with the beautiful AMOLED large format screen. And on this watch, we are going to demo the watch faces creators have produced in the month of August 2016. Now, before we get started, there's a couple of things I wanted to warn you about when it comes to installing watch faces. First, what? Hang on, my old phone is calling. Yes. Yeah, I know. We have the KW88 from Kingware. It's a nice watch. Why am I not demoing on this one? Well, unfortunately, these watch faces won't run on this beautiful watch. They only work on the FINOW and the number one watches right now. But it's a fine watch. I know it's a fine watch. Yes, we'll do a comparison video. You want to show me something right now? Hit your play button? Bear with me. Ever since I gave him airtime, he's wanted more, so that's what you got to do with an old phone. Whoa, what is this? Really? Uh-huh. Wow. Wow. All that is happening on the KW88? Okay. Yeah, I guess I should tell him about Kenneth. You're looking at a YouTube video on a different channel of a guy that's impressing me beyond belief. His name is Kenneth Tan, T-A-N. And if you Google Kenneth Tan, KW88, you can watch this video too. And better than that, you can subscribe to his channel because, I do what I do, and then sometimes you come upon a master that does things like beyond belief. There are things, really cool things, you can do with the KW88 that you can't do. Well, actually, you can with with all these other Android watches, because what you're seeing on the KW88 will run on the number one, the FINOW, everything. But I'm going to let him tell you about it because I haven't even begun to go where this guy is going. Kenneth Tan, T-A-N, KW88. Google that inside of YouTube and watch this video. And do subscribe, all right? The guy deserves some love. Absolutely amazing stuff he's doing. All right, first of all, and these are all in alphabetical order now. That's just kind of how they're sorted. So depending on when they were posted doesn't matter. That depends on the alphabetical listing. We'll take a look at these. There's, I don't know, 40 or 50 of them or so. So we'll whip through them, give you a chance to take a look at them. And again, all these are coming to us from the Google G Plus community dedicated to round Android smartwatches. And some pretty creative designs. This is interesting because the time is down here, and that's kind of the minute hand that just goes halfway across from 0 to 60, and you see the second hands going. There's another one kind of similar to that going on right here. Time is over here, and there's the minute hand and the second hand. Very creative work of integrating digital and analog together. Here's another one of these fun ones that has some motion graphics going. Whoops. That one's got a wild looking second hand. We're actually looking at a launcher over here. This is an implementation of a different kind of a launcher that will run on these Android standalone watches that Kenneth has been playing with. Oh, I like this one. We're going to let this one sit for just a second. Playing with that, all we really have to work with are rotational commands and digital commands. And in a sense, these are digits, like on the clock, flipping by at a certain rate to create a kitty cat whose eyes are blinking. Here's a nice BMW rotating wheel. It's going really, really slower than a BMW. It's more like a Pinto. But nonetheless, it's turning. If you like it faster, you can actually go in and mess with the code a little bit and speed that puppy up however you would like. That's the benefit of knowing how to work with this stuff. And there's videos that we have out there that tell you how to actually create code for these watches. So take a look for those videos as well. I'm not sliding far enough. There we go. I am here for the Bose, he says. Simple little watch, but cute. Yeah. Now, while we're going through this, I'm going to give you the background on installing watch faces, okay? It's really an easy process, and it can also bite you. And unfortunately, there's a couple of ways it can bite you. When you actually install these designer clock skins, by hooking it to your computer and downloading, wow. I think I mentioned in the unboxing that there's a screen protector on here, and it makes it a little less immediate, I'm finding, in the swipe. Plus, it's really hot in here, and I'm kind of sweaty. So it's not typical, I don't think, that this watch is non-responsive. It's just a situation. Anyway, in terms of installing these watch faces, the classic way we've all been doing, and there's guides on doing this, is to hook it up to the computer, create a folder inside the watch called clock skin, not with an S on the end of it, just singular clock skin. and drop folders that have these watch face designs in there. When you do that and you disconnect the watch, most of the time it works fine and you're able to see all of your new watch faces. Sometimes, however, it doesn't quite work. And that's when you get into trouble. What could happen is you press on it and it just goes black and you let go and it comes back to the same watch face and you can't change them anymore. Other times you press it and it goes black and it never comes back. And that's really scary because you're kind of out of luck. You might not even be able to use your watch. And as some people have found out that didn't prepare for those situations, when that happens, you may be forced to completely reflash your firmware. And if you don't know about that, or you don't have a copy of the firmware, and you don't know how to begin, it's going to be a problem. So I've got a couple of guides out there in video that I've prepared on this, but I'm going to do a new one that's like a beginner's guide to this new Q3 and all Android standalone smartwatches that's going to take you through some safety steps that you can follow that will allow you, oh, I like this one. This is fun. We're going to let this run for a second. Is that in focus? Yeah. It will allow you to prepare your watch in the event that that happens, that it messes up and it locks up on you. There's some things you can do ahead of time that give you the opportunity to fix that, to come out of it, to survive and get everything back in normal without it being locked irreversibly, okay? And those are important steps. So if you're thinking of putting new watch faces on your watch, isn't that fun? I mean, there's a lot going on there. There really is. If you're thinking of putting, of course you are. You're watching this video. Who am I talking to? Before you put these watch faces on your watch, prep your watch for the inevitable. It's happened to all of us. It's happened to me actually many times on every one of these watches. And it's just a bit of safety to make sure you can recover. I'm not going to go into a lot of details here. It involves downloading and installing some specific apps and learning how to use them, practicing with them a little bit. And then when the nightmare happens, you can kick back and say, I can recover from this. Grab everybody around the lunchroom, a water cooler, bring them over and show them your talent in bailing out of what otherwise might be a bricked watch. Really cool watch faces we're looking at, aren't they? Now, these are all the free watch faces that are available, again, from the G Plus community where they collect these things. And we are going to have in the video here, probably the last one for a while. Look at that nice black hole kind of swirling around. And these things are representing the hour and minute hand. We are going to have a zip file that gives you pointers to each of these watch faces. It'll show you the thumbnail and give you the link that you can follow to the actual page where the designer put the clock skin or the watch face that you can then download into your computer. It's the last one because we're changing methods and processes for this. It's going to be a bit easier, we hope, for you to get access to these things as a group when we go to a new thing called the Pro Boards, which is under development right now. So by September, I'll still hopefully be showing you all these on the video, but in order for you to get to them and download them, you may be using a different process altogether. Oh yeah, this is the one. It's kind of hard to see, and oh yeah, it takes a while for it to load too. This is the one, hello, there we go, that you put on your wrist, and it's like a transparent skin, right? So if I were a darker skinned person, that would look like you're looking right through the watch at my arm. We've done that before with a lighter version, and it really did look realistic. In fact, I think it's the cover picture on last month's video. But this one's a bit darker, so we're trying to cover male and female, light skin, dark skin, hairy, not so hairy. Okay, finish these up. We've got, well, there's several of these different designs with these concentric circles going around, all modified slightly. I think I'm going to need to possibly peel that protector skin off. First time I'm really using this. This is 007 Minion style. You see, there's the Minion, and boom, he's going to shoot a hole, and boom, you know, the blood starts coming down. Remember the old James Bond intros? Well, that's what it's emulating. And some more. Now let me begin telling you about something else, and I'll show you some links in a little bit. All these different watch faces are created by designers like you. I like this one, changes colors. And FINOW, at least, this company behind this particular watch and all the other different round Android watches of the same style that run these watch faces, is looking to update the watch faces on the new watches they produce. So they're putting a call out to the community for those of you who want to volunteer and contribute your watch face to possibly show up on future watches, either directly on the watch itself as one of the core watch faces that get shipped out, or as you'll see when we get to the very end, there's a little plus sign, and when you tap that plus sign, you can add other additional faces from their server. Well, they're looking for contributions from folks who want their watch face designs to be available to the general public. To do that, we're setting up various ways that once you create a watch face design that you're proud of, and you're willing to turn it loose to the world, basically say, it's my gift to humanity for being here, there's links that you can go to where you can post your watch face. Oh, I love this one. Watch this one. There's beam me up, Scotty. Well, beam me up, Spock. Okay. Well, Spock's saying to Scotty. I don't know. Anyway, it's the same kind of thing. Remember the cat's eyes that were blinking? Here we go with Spock disappearing. But you've got this whole transporter thing happening as well. And then, of course, the Star Trekky kind of display for time and information. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Great designs. So when you create a fun design, even if it's just something as simple as a picture with 3 hands, you know, and we've seen some of those, and you're proud of it, you can give it out to the community through the G Plus community, through the new Pro Boards that community that's coming up, or send it directly to FINOW, and we'll have a link for all of that for you in just a few moments. Just start thinking about getting your designs ready. Here's a space one going around slowly. There's all the different ships, I guess, representing aspects of time. Here's another interesting one. A lot of different things going on in these watches. We have a couple of amazing watch designers, true they are, too. Andrew Somers and Andrew Davis in particular have created some really exquisite designs. And they've also, because they have so many of them, have set up their own site where they list their creations and either offer them by donation, or you can get them, you know, donating will get you access to some of them, and others are just like available for free, like you're seeing here. And they're all listed there. So in the show notes, I will also have links to both Andrew Somers and Andrew Davis's web presence for looking at their designs, of which several are appearing here, along with a lot of newbies, a lot of senior people. It's just a hodgepodge of everything. Here's a classic example. A simple picture in the background. There's the numbers and dots, and there's 3 hands. That's all the elements you need to make a watch. And it can be very creative, very cool, and you can just post it here. I think this is the last one for the month. Double check. Yep. Now, if we scroll to the right and keep scrolling past the designer faces, you'll see these are the watch faces that have been shipped with this watch. Well, actually, they came to me in a firmware update after I received the watch, because this is an engineering prototype of the Q3. When the final version goes out, it may or may not have these watch faces in there, and that's where there's a call right now for the community to submit watch faces for either this watch or future watches. One of 2 ways they'll show up. Either this way as an actual stock watch that ships with the watch when it goes out for delivery, or at the very end through the server. Now, the server is a place you connect, and it ties into a stream of additional watch faces. Some of these you can see are already the same ones that are on there. So my guess is those are just placeholders that are already on the watch, and they'll probably be pulled off and replaced with other ones. But these are the ones now that are on the server. So if you see any of these you like, and it goes down 4 or 5 of them, and then it loads a few more. And I'll show you an example. Well, let's go up to this one here. I'm going to touch it. It says start download. And then in a moment, after it downloads it, it will let me install it. And I'm going to tap that button as well. Right there, download success. Do you want to install it? Okay. And that's now installed it, and you'll see it in a moment. But at the same time, I'm going to try to mess this thing up by starting download, and then starting another download, and then starting another download here. And it's already download, and then I'm going to install that one, and download that one again, and just mess around with it too much, because I want you to see, if I can break it, what it looks like broken. I have not prepared this to protect it from being broken, but I'm actually going to flash this watch right after the video, so I'm fine with doing what I'm doing. And you'll see, I hope, what it will do when it's not working right. Okay, enough of those, and I'm kind of caught in the middle of it. So when I press and hold on the watch face, and I continue scrolling to the right, there's the first one, and see the little minus sign? I can touch it, it comes up. It's one of the ones downloaded from the server. That is a way, an easy way, anybody can add watch faces to their FINOW or number 1 watches, the round Android kind. They all have this, they all support this. I didn't break it. If I were to break it, there'd be another circle right here with a minus sign on it, but it would be empty. And if you get that and you accidentally touched on it, boom, you're kind of locked out. You can't do anything. And so in the video I'm going to be preparing shortly, that video will show you some protective measures you can take ahead of time to ensure that you don't end up in that bad situation and not be able to get out of it. All right. Yeah, it looks like everything's going to work fine, of course, when you're on camera. Let's finish this talk with those of you who are designing watch faces and would like to have them available through FINOW or other watch companies to be part of the dance of watch faces given to the public. Got 3 ways for you now to participate. First, you have to design a watch face. If you know how to do it, go for it. If you don't, there's videos here on this channel that give you guides on how to do it. Once you have your folder with all of the clock skin pieces in it, zip it up into a zip file and then do one of these 3 things. If you want to send it directly to FINOW at finowwatch.com, email your zipped file directly to this address, and in the comments say, I hereby give you permission to use my watch face in any of your products. Boom, it's done for FINOW. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can go into the G+ community. Just Google on this, find the G+ community, make a posting with your watch face in there. Again, say I'm making this available for commercial or non-commercial use, and make sure you tag it in the section called commercial use faces. The vendors know that if a watch face is in there, they have permission to suck it out and put it on their watches and make it available to the public. The third way, and it's just coming now, is to join the Pro Boards, actually this particular one, roundandroidwatches.proboards.com. Register, you'll get in there, there'll be a place where you can do the same posting, commercial use faces of your watch face design, and again, that will be available to anybody that wants to use that to work with. So, up to you how far you want to go with releasing your work. If you don't want watch companies to use your work, but you want the community to play with it, you can always go in here and post it in the general use section. And then it's available for anybody to download, and as long as it's just for personal use. But for commercial use, right now, FINOW is looking for submittals for watch face design in their upcoming watches, and this is your chance to get your work recognized and out there. All right, that's it for the August review of all of the different watch faces. Thanks again for watching. Okay, this little next segment is the video I talked about at the beginning. It wasn't made for you guys to watch. It's an internal document going back and forth with all of the technical support behind these watches to help you guys stay out of trouble. But it was important enough to actually include it here because you can see me breaking this watch. Well, it's actually the different one. It's the FINOW Q3. This is the number 1 D6 Plus, but it would do the same thing on this one as well. So watch this video and then heed the warning. Do not use the plus sign to add watch faces. Okay, it's September 25th, 2016. This is the watch faces available through the plus sign on the FINOW Q3. I got all of them loaded up, so you can see which ones are from the server right now. Getting kind of washed out. Sorry about that. Okay, it's that dial one. They got 2 of these in here. It shows up there and then right again there. A lot of these are old XDA watch faces. And there's another all-white one. Okay, you get the drift. So I'm not totally familiar with the offensive watch faces, but I don't see any I recognize. There's no digital ones here. They're all analog. Well, they may not be done with it, but at least as of today, September 15th, this is what they've got. And that's it. These are the installed faces that come with it. And interesting to note, after doing that parade of watch faces available under the plus sign, I downloaded several of them just to test it out. And yes, indeed, I got 2 of them that are blank. You'll see that. Now, I have also already gone to Settings Search over to Launcher and cleared the launcher data. Unfortunately, that has no effect on any of the downloaded apps. Here we go. First one, second one. Then I got a blank. I got another blank. And there, and there, and there. And I'm back again, okay? And if I try to delete these, of course, they don't go away. It pops right back to the first watch face. Well, not even that this time. It used to pop back to the one that I had as default. Well, I'm in trouble like everybody else. And it did not clear, like I say, going into apps, into running, into launcher, clear data. Didn't help out on doing that either. So they got a serious problem here with those downloadable watch faces. I don't know how to clear it now except for flashing. Any ideas? Okay. I was able to get it to go into a reboot. See what it comes up with. Just in case, I'm going to press and hold. Maybe I'll get access. Oh, I heard a beep. I think that's just the boot up beep. And I'm back to the black screen of death. All right, I'm hosed. There you go. FINOW Q3. Still got the same problems as all the others. And not solvable with Settings Search.